Spider-Man No Way Home. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What a treat.
It was pretty good. It was average. It was above average. Maybe it was pretty good.
It was very good.
I think we both enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, welcome to the Mediators.
Hey guys.
I'm Brody. This is
Nate. Nathaniel.
And we are two guys that like to talk about movies and video games and all kinds of stuff, really.
The Mediators.
Mediators, that's us. Media.
Aiders.
Mediators.
Tours.
Yeah,
Mediators.
that. So welcome to today's discussion about a movie that we saw recently that we enjoyed very much called Spider-Man No Way Home. Very well done.
Very.
And we'll get into that. So we'll probably start off with maybe not as much spoiler stuff, and then
it's almost impossible to not do spoilers.
So it won't be. So we'll be getting into that, and we'll let you know before we get into the actual spoiler territory. But
yeah,
we'll try to avoid as much as possible up until that point. But so we start off with Peter Parker. So he did good.
Yes,
Tom Holland.
It takes place right after Far From Home.
Far From Home. Yep.
Literally exactly after. Identity
has been compromised. And, I think this was one of his best performances that he did. And I think the supportive cast with his friends and everything was pretty good too. And, it just was pretty good. All right, I think that's about all we can cover without spoilers. Yep. So, spoiler warning heading in. So, 3, 2, 1, spoilers from here on out. So, Spider-Man, No Way Home, which was really interesting because, again, I was wondering, there's so many theories about, like, what does it mean by No Way Home?
Yeah, it doesn't really... I guess until the very end, it doesn't really make sense.
I think that's the point, though. Like, normally, sometimes you don't want it to be until the very, especially on good ones, where, like, so, like, okay, for example, this is completely off track, but I saw the movie Lion with the guy from Slumdog Millionaire, right?
Oh, right.
And the whole time, you're okay, well, he's a lion, I guess, makes sense. And then you get to the very end, and it's like, it has a whole different meaning at the end. I like those kind of titles of movies where it's like, it's okay until you get to the end and it changes your perspective on everything. So that's kind of what I felt like this was. It was like, okay, there's no way home because he got his identity revealed and there's no going back. And then by the time you get to the end of the movie, it's just like, oh, wait, no, it's completely different meaning. So I like that kind of stuff. Yeah. But yeah, so he is kind of, it's like he's starting school back up. Everything is different. People are like, Mysterio was right. You're a murderer. They're going after him. They're like, he's not really everybody's favorite hero at this point.
Which is kind of, it doesn't really make much sense to begin with.
Why? Where are the Avengers to kind of help, or anybody like any other hero? I mean, Doctor Strange is doing his thing, but actually, there really isn't much else that's like public awareness. I guess they could have Sam come in or.
Oh yeah.
Bucky.
Literally anybody.
Just kind of vouch for him.
In general.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Like, hey guys, you help save the entire universe together. Maybe back him up just a tiny bit.
Just a little bit of support.
Support would have been nice, but no, he doesn't. He has no support besides his girlfriend, MJ, which is Michelle Jones.
Yes.
And Ned. So
Ned.
Yeah, I was like, and I felt like they were just the right amount in this movie. I think.
Yeah.
Where like before I'm like, okay, maybe it's a little too much of this, a little too much of that, but this one I felt like, okay, they're in it just enough.
Yeah.
Just enough.
They're actually supporting.
Yeah. It's hard to do that when you have like a superhero movie with the non-superhero characters, especially if it's not like a huge drama type thing.
Yeah. But this was.
It was.
It was everything. It was everything.
Oh, yeah.
It was perfect.
It was pretty well.
It was amazing.
Okay, he went there. Perfect, he says. Spectacular. Amazing. Yeah, I got you. So he does this, and he's kind of trying to do his life, and they don't get into the college that they want to go. They don't get any colleges.
Yeah,
at all.
Everyone's rejected.
Everybody, and not just him, but his girlfriend and
his best friend.
Yeah, everybody's lives have been impacted by this.
Yeah.
And they talk to a lawyer basically to kind of figure out what can they do, and of course we have one of the first treats we get. The lawyer is played by none other than Netflix's Daredevil, Matt Murdock. Charlie Cox in the flesh.
We get a shot of just the hands holding the cane. Yes. Everyone freaked out when it happened.
You hear the rumors, you hear the leaks, and you're like, okay, fine, we'll see.
I didn't see any leaks about him being in it at
I
all.
was watching some of the leaks. I was just curious, but I mean, and then of course we actually see it, and it was just everything you were hoping it would be. Now he's barely in it, obviously.
Yeah,
but
it's like 5 minutes maybe.
Oh, way less than that.
Yeah,
it's
what
so
maybe's for.
Yeah, and But yeah, it was great. You see a little bit of this thing. He catches a brick that's thrown through a window, and we get one of my favorite lines with him. It's just like,
how'd you do that?
I'm a really good lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh, just perfect.
So good.
Oh,
You're gonna need a really good lawyer.
Yeah.
I'm a really good lawyer.
Oh man. It's just it's
good.
very well done. So again, that was I think a great cameo type little thing that wasn't like is good fan service, but not like over the top. Like, oh wow, it's
hey, look at this
Daredevil,
guy.
and
he has his place in the movie. He's not just there to be randomly there. There's a purpose.
And I feel like every little thing, even with like the villains, they had a purpose in the movie rather than. I mean, there's some moments where it was like, okay, that's a little.
Two of them were just kind of like, what are you doing here?
But I'm talking like as far as like the characters themselves, they weren't there just to be there. Some of them. A lot of times, and like I said, there's some things where you're like, okay, obviously that was just a callback for the nostalgia type of a thing. The first thing I think of is Norman Osborn. So we already know the villains. That wasn't. So we have Electro, Sandman. We have the Lizard,
Doc Ock,
and
Green Goblin.
And Green Goblin does his famous line, "I'm something of a scientist myself."
It's
and so
good.
It was good, but I was like, that's a bit more fan servicey.
Yeah, but
like,
But yeah.
Like the way he builds up to it, and he kind of was just like he's. Yeah. So like they knew what they were doing with that one.
Yeah.
So that one was like, okay, he could have not said it and it would have been fine, but like he said it and it was like good, but it was definitely a fan service moment for sure.
But I mean, it works even if you didn't know that was his line.
Yeah, it does.
It helps.
Like it wasn't so far out of the realm, but it was definitely like, hey guys, ready? I'm gonna say the line.
Nudge.
Yeah. And like the way he delivered it, like I said, the pause, everything. It was like he's building up because we all know how everybody's gonna react to it. And that was another thing. This we saw opening night. The theater was sold out, and
it was packed.
I would just say the energy level. I missed that during the pandemic and everything. Was like all the people. I mean, you had screaming, you had tears, literally. You had all this stuff that just really helped amplify it. I thought.
So we're still living off the hype right now. Obviously,
it was good,
and that's okay.
And I think
it's
impossible to live up to hype, but this one definitely got close to the hype. I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man, everybody there wanted to be there, and they were like all in for it. So that was great. So that was kind of setting the mood for our theater experience there. It was near perfect. So we go back to Peter Parker trying to figure out what to do, and he's trying to do the right thing, but nothing's working. And he gets an idea. He's gonna go see his old pal Doctor Strange to maybe figure out if there's something to do. So he goes there. He finds Doctor Strange. It gets a little weird. Like I said, the vibe that I was getting from Doctor Strange was like, you hear the rumors, like, okay, that's not really Doctor Strange. That's Mephisto, or that's another character.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And so there was like that. And the way he was acting was just kind of like, he definitely kind of seemed out of place. Almost like I would have believed it was a Skrull if he wasn't actually doing magic and stuff.
I was like, well,
you know?
he's doing magic.
No, it most likely was him or some other magical being pretending to be
like him to me. I don't know.
But yeah, there wasn't anything in the end credits that implied otherwise. It was just the way he was behaving and acting. I felt was like strange.
No, I didn't get that vibe at all personally.
And maybe because I was expecting something, and I was like, "There's no way they're gonna be able to throw that much into this movie." They might. I mean, we saw Spider-Man 3, so they can throw a lot in there and not make it work. But this one had a lot thrown in it, and it definitely worked.
Yes,
definitely. He has a spell that he is going to use that will erase everybody's memory of that he's Spider-Man.
That Peter Parker is
Spider-Man. Yeah. And of course, we see it in the trailers. As he's trying to do the spell, Peter Parker's like, wait, no, my girlfriend. Oh, Aunt May. Oh, and he's the name of these people. And he's like, stop doing it. And so, like, of course, and so I guess somehow it throws off the spell because he's having to he's having to pause
adding layers
and then add in layers to it. And of course, it gets out of control.
Yeah.
And he can't stop. And this is what I thought was interesting. Doctor Strange does stop it.
He does stop it, yeah.
And he contains it. And he's like, all right, forget it. This didn't work.
I didn't think that's how it was going to work because of the trailer. You think, it goes crazy and haywire and he has to fix it. But no, he stops it.
Yeah, they definitely are leading you one way on the trailers, and it is not at all like that in the movie.
Which is...
It's fun. I'm like, you get the gist of the movie from the trailers, but you're not getting like, oh, this and this
small
happened.
detail,
Yeah. So I thought it was pretty well done from the trailer perspective.
And so he's talking to Doctor Strange. He's like, oh man, I wish I could just talk to them and be like, no, I'm not. This isn't what you think. He's like, you can
to the college admissions office.
Yeah, the MIT.
Yeah,
and he's
they're
like,
all trying to get
wait,
into.
You can do that? He's like, he says something about, I always forget you're just a kid or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so Pete's like, oh crap, I need to go try and find a way to talk to the MIT people. So he goes to Flash Thompson, who was at a MIT
Mixer. Yeah, it was like the mixer, like
Yeah.
after for the incoming freshmen, because of course Flash gets in.
Yeah, because he's
Flash. I love it. He wrote a book about being Peter Parker's best friend, and it's just like, how did he get an MIT after that? After having a book published, but yeah, basically he finds the lady who's in charge of the admissions.
Yeah.
But she's like heading to the airport, so he meets her on the bridge, and he's like, "Hey, I'd really love the chance to meet my friends, to be able to come in here and talk."
Not just him, or just his friends. Just his friends.
He just said, don't punish my friends for whatever I did. He's like, please let them. They're really smart.
Don't let MIT be stupid. She's like, calling them stupid. It's like, wait, no. It was fun.
That's classic, kind of like, I love his mannerisms. I think he did really well with it. Yeah, as the Peter Parker and Spider-Man in this movie.
Yeah,
and then we get
a little commotion.
People start running, and then he's like, "What's going on?
Wait, why are you running?"
And lo and behold, this was great. There's a lot of really good moments, but this was one of them. Ground explodes. There's dust everywhere, and out of the dust come these tentacles. Yeah, the metallic. Oh, Dr. Octopus in the flesh.
Back in action, baby.
And I learned this. They de-aged him digitally.
Oops. Sorry.
They de-aged him digitally.
Really?
Yeah.
He looked?
I did not know that at all. Try to make him match more closely to what he was in the second Spider-Man movie.
I wonder if they did that for Willem Dafoe.
I don't know. I didn't see that one, but I did see that
I bet they probably didn't. Because he looks pretty similar no matter what.
He's pretty much there. But, yeah, so... He comes up, and we get a kind of a fun little fight scene with them. Yeah. You know, the admissions officer is in trouble. You know, Peter Parker saves her, saves a couple other people. And then we kind of get this interesting moment where the tentacles grab his suit, the nanotech suit. Right. And they start, like, absorbing the tech.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
it doesn't really make sense.
But... Yeah, I guess... At first, I thought the AI of the tentacles were going to override the nanotech, and I was like,
and start controlling his suit.
"Oh man!" Or like they're going to be like, I was thinking of Eternals, you know, where the bad guys would grab one of the Eternals and get their powers. I thought something like that was going to happen, where they're going to become more powerful. Yeah. But the opposite happens instead. The nanotech suit takes over the tentacles.
Yeah. He starts controlling it.
Yeah, he does. So he waves his arm, and the tentacles waves. So then he uses the tentacles to lift up a card that's going to fall off.
He saves the lady.
Yep, saves the lady.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, all right, I win.
Yeah. It was
he's just like
it's
chilling.
over. It's great. So it was just funny. I think that was a smart choice to do, especially considering that they had to introduce a lot more. Yeah. Really fast.
Oh yeah. And we'll get to something later, but it just cracked me up how like Peter from this universe, like he just solves all the problems for the villains. Yeah. Like that. He's like, it reminded me of the What If episode with Black Panther where he's just where he talked Thanos out of destroying the universe
where
and stuff like that.
The better Peter, or the better Star-Lord.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So they do stuff like that. But yeah, it did make sense because like they do have more advanced tech. So of course he'd be able to take over the arms and stuff because it's just...
Well, yeah, you have Iron Man inventing all this stuff that the other universe... Exactly. Nobody else has the Avengers. Yeah. But yeah, so then after he kind of beats, we hear another thing.
We hear a little metallic rolling, and we see the little pumpkin egg thing.
The pumpkin bombs. I love it. So of course
people freaked out when that happened.
Goblin himself shows up in the classic suit.
Yeah,
classic glider. The whole thing. He comes in, and again, it was amazing.
And then we had the little magic circle come in. Mm-hmm. Doctor Strange teleports him and Doc Ock back to their little lair.
Yeah, the Wizard's Dungeon.
The Wizard's Dungeon, apparently.
Which is the Undercroft of the Secret Sanctorum. Yeah. I had to think of remember the name of it for a second.
Interesting name.
Yeah.
And so Doc Ock is in a little cage. Petey's there. And,
good old Petey.
Petey. And Doc gives him a little gauntlet thing?
Yeah, it's like a gauntlet, and he kind of integrates it into his suit. He takes off his
gauntlet, puts magic on it, gives it back to him, and it lets him shoot something that will put them back.
Yeah, it's like he shoots web and it teleports them into the cage that Doctor Strange has set up for these other universes.
It's basically, if this is a video game, this is the first upgrade you get, and they show you how to use it, and then they send you off to go use it.
And we get the description. Doctor Strange is like, he had already captured the lizard, and he's kind of got cut up a little bit, and he's like, the spell was kind of... not hijacked, but kind of ruined a little bit, and now it's bringing in anybody in any universe that knows that he's Peter Parker.
Yeah. And like I said, a couple slipped through, not everybody, just a couple slipped through before he contained it.
Exactly. So he's like, we need to capture the rest of them. When you find out, he's like, we're looking for the other ones.
And Pete's like, how do we do it? He's like, what do you say? Like you're on the internet or something like that?
Yeah, we'll go on the internet, and so he brings in his two friends, MJ.
Scooby-Doo this crap. That's what it said.
Scooby-Doo it. So they're gonna work together to capture the rest of the villains.
Yeah.
So they go down, they hunt down the next one. They go to this power grid in kind of the middle of nowhere in the woods. And it's kind of cool. I liked it how he taped a phone to his chest so you could.
Because his suit was ruined
from
when the nano. Yeah.
And he's got it taped kind of there so that way Ned and MJ can see what's going on.
Yeah.
And I thought, I don't know, I was expecting like a jump scare type of thing, but you see something moving in the background.
Yeah.
You do.
Oh wait, yeah. Oh
you
find out. Yeah.
And so, and then as it's moving, you're like, okay, and then you see like electricity start popping in. Yeah. And like it kind of reminded me of Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen, where he's like forming back together.
Like a energy field or like
exactly.
A
little, yeah. And you see Electro, and now I like his look better in this one than in the Amazing Spider-Man where he's blue.
Oh,
where
100%.
He looks like himself, but he's got like yellow electricity.
He was blue and
it was kind of odd.
Didn't look good.
Apparently Jamie Foxx does not like being blue either, so he was very happy that he got to look like himself.
Yeah.
And he shoots lightning at Peter Parker, and a wall of sand rises up to block it.
Yeah.
And of course,
Sandman.
Spider-Man's got his mask on, so Marco is like Sandman. He is saying, "Hey, Peter," or he's like, "What's going on?" And takes off his mask, and it's not the Peter Parker he was expecting. So we're getting all these different villains from the Spider-Man universe coming together. So of course we all know what's going on. We all are loving it. Peter in this universe is
no idea what's
trying
going
to figure
on.
out what is happening. It's just amazing all the way around.
I'm trying to remember how he got Electro. They stopped the grid. He stopped the power somehow, right?
Yeah. So they're in the middle of nowhere. He basically disconnects all of the power lines so that there's no power there anymore. And Electro kind of fizzles out, and he shoots him with the gauntlet and teleports.
I didn't think he was like charged by other stuff. I thought he had his own energy.
No, he absorbs energy.
Gotcha.
He gets it from other sources. That's why he's like, I feel the energy here. It's different.
It's different. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. He's a little over the top for me. I thought he was funny. Electro is like the classic kind of comic book villain who is like, he's kind of evil just to be evil. A lot of times it feels, or he's a little too campy. Yeah. Not too campy, but like he's a little campy. He's a little over that line. Yeah. So it was good. I mean, it fits. I think he had fun with it, but yeah, he's definitely the more campy of all the villains. And then we're back down in the Undercroft, the Wizard's Dungeon. They're kind of all talking about everything. And remember what happens next?
I want to say...
I'm trying to remember what happens next. How do they split up again?
We get Norman... We get a different scene to Norman, like, trying to... He destroys his mask because he's, like, back to normal.
Yeah, he's in the alleyway. We get a very Spider-Man 2 type of a thing where he's turning his back on, his alter ego.
Yeah, but it's Norman Osborn, and he runs over to Feast.
I know, I thought that was a fun addition to it. So we get Feast from Spider-Man comics and even the game and everything. Yeah, so I'm like, all right, we get to see Feast.
I think that's what happens next, right? Or is that, I don't know if that's immediately what happens next, but this happens later.
We jump around.
And so Aunt May calls him, I got one of your friends here, or whatever.
One of the ones that you're looking for. And he was like, oh, so he goes over there and...
It's Norman.
And so he's like, all right. So he brings him back and they're like...
He's good, but you don't know if he's pretending to be
that's the thing. Even when he was... But I was watching for the teeth because in the original Spider-Man movies, when he was Norman, he had fake teeth in to kind of make his teeth look more perfect. And when he was Green Goblin, it had his natural gap and like kind of crooked teeth.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that was a little fun Easter egg. They did that in this movie as well. When he's Green Goblin, his teeth are crooked and he's got the gap.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh yeah. They did a lot of things that really pulled back to the original. So yeah, he comes in and they're all in their thing, and Doctor Strange is like, all right, I'm gonna send them all back to their universes, let them meet their fate. Because they all die at the hand of Spider-Man, and
they all realize they were gonna die too.
Yeah,
they're like, "Wait, I was just about to."
And then I was
really about to die, wasn't I?
Yeah. So they all realized, okay, they were all like. So I feel like they were taken away at the moment before they died.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of interesting.
And then Peter's like,
"I'm not sending these people back to die."
Like this.
He's like, "No, they don't need to die.
I can fix him."
Basically, He's like, why don't we cure them of whatever's going on?
He can.
Yeah.
Because he does.
It's
just ridiculous.
Yeah. And he's like, why don't we fix them, give them another chance? Maybe they can change their...
No, it's their fate.
Yeah, Doctor Strange is like, no, we're not doing this. We're getting rid of them now.
And you get like a little tense moment where like it keeps cutting back to Pete's face and cutting over to Doctor Strange doing the spell. And then finally, when it's about to happen, he takes a little box thing
Yep,
from Doctor
Strange. He takes the
Strange.
spell of the box.
And we get a pretty cool little action scene.
So there's a chase sequence where...
Which we have another cool part where, he goes outside the sanctorum or whatever.
Yeah.
And Doctor Strange does the little spirit thing.
The astral project, or whatever, he, like, knocks his spirit out of him.
He can't get the box because Spidey sensors are, like, doing that the whole time. And then Peter swims back into his body. He's like, don't do that again. Which was pretty cool. I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, so it's like, you're like...
That's the first time you see someone do that.
When he's outside the body, you see the Spider-Man squiggle lines for the Spidey sense. Because Doctor Strange is, like, trying to grab it. And you're right, every time he's about to grab it, Spider-Man moves his arm.
And Doc's like,
without even thinking.
That shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. And it's a really good, I feel like, kind of classical comedy moment.
Yeah.
Where it's serious, but like they're having fun with it.
Yeah.
And then we get a whole chase scene where they're basically fighting each other.
In the mirror dimension.
And we go into the mirror dimension. We see all this really cool stuff. You get the whole Doctor Strange bizarre combination. Yeah.
Wow.
Everything.
Inception.
Crap. Yeah. Ton of fun. I mean, I can't imagine that was cheap to make, but it was. And then, it was good.
Pete's like, wait a second, and he just figures out he's a super genius. He's like, this is geometry, and he does all these little spider web things,
spinning web.
He's like 4 + 4 and 20 times, and does that, and then once it finally converges, he captures Doctor Strange
in a spider web.
In the spider web,
he captures Doctor Strange in a spider web, and Strange is like tied up. Can't get out. It was great.
He takes his little ring thing that apparently lets him do that.
Yeah.
Which I don't think he really needs that to do that, honestly.
I don't think he did, but I think he was tied up.
We'll go with that. Yeah, he was tied up.
Because he doesn't have to, because he gets out eventually.
Yeah. Well, because something happens.
What happened?
Well, Ned.
Yeah, but he wasn't the one to open it up.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure Doctor Strange did it himself.
He could have been. But whatever.
Either way.
And so then he goes back. And he's like to Ned and MJ, I fought Doctor Strange and I totally just won. It was hilarious. And then what happens after that?
He lets them all go and he's like, all right, guys, he's like, you can either come with me and we'll try to cure you, or you can stay here.
Right.
Yeah, or you can stay here and die, basically. So he's like, all right. So he gives MJ the box. Yeah. He's like, if anything goes wrong, I'll text you. Hit the button. We'll send them all back. No problem, right?
Should have freaking texted her, man.
Should have texted her. Things definitely go wrong. So he brings them back to a hideout that Happy has.
Yeah.
Kind of like it's got some Stark technology in there. Yeah. It's like high tech, whatever. It's a nice place.
It's like the one thing they need.
Yeah. That he's been hiding out in, and they go in there and they start basically trying to work. So you've got the two doctors, Dr. Octopus and Dr. Norman Osborn.
Yeah.
Working together with Peter to all right, if we use this, we can make a new chip for Doc Ock.
Well, so I think
he controls
Doc Ock
it.
Isn't helping. I think
he's not helping at that point.
Yeah,
but
he's just tied up with a little tentacle around him.
Yeah, again, he's in control of the tentacles.
Okay, and we get shown the little system status for the arms 2 different times, and it's like a long cut. It's like 1, 2, 3, and then it cuts away, and you think it's gonna come back. But it doesn't come back.
You're right. I didn't even remember that.
They're obviously foreshadowing something with showing it. Status is active, arms are under control.
I guess they're just trying to remind us that it's still not.
Maybe it was a little red herring where they're like, "Oh, watch out for this," but it never comes back up. It never shuts off, and
you know the thing where you see again, you look at it Chekhov's
gun. Prison door.
You see the gun. You're expecting somebody to shoot it at some point, and it just never happens. The gun doesn't get shot. So it was very interesting.
Why'd you guys put so much detail into this?
And they go back to it a couple of times. Yeah. So it was interesting.
But that never happens.
Nothing
And so Pete solves Doc's nano
chip thing. Gets him a new chip, and he's like, wow,
and there's a little couple seconds where he's like, did he just kill him?
Yeah, he puts it on there, and he's kind of like, and you're like, did he just kill him in front of all these supervillains?
Oh, hilarious. And then
I would not have been over. That would not have gone well.
No, but then he's like, whoa.
And he's like, wow.
It's so quiet. And he's back to Doc Ock.
He's just regular good guy
Dr. Octavius.
Oh, I love that.
It was so nice.
It was so nice.
He was just a good guy.
Yeah. And then
something went wrong.
And then we come in, we get a little energy absorber for Electro.
Yeah, that'll take out all his energy.
Yeah, so he won't have any Electro. He'll be a normal guy. We've got Sandman. He's got a little thing. They hadn't done that yet, but they were going to, and they were working on getting Norman Osborn his anti-serum.
It's such a good scene.
And they're working on the anti-serum, And all of a sudden, you get this. It reminded me of like a Saving Private Ryan, like the Normandy, where it's like everything's kind of like it's ringing in ears. You know, it's the spider sense tingling.
Yeah, we get little glimpses of it earlier, but this is like
a full like 45 seconds, and he's just kind of like walking around.
It's a close up of his face the whole time, and he's just like doing this. And it's just him walking out into the
and everybody's like, Peter, what's
area.
wrong? What's going on, Peter?
Yeah.
And it's muffled. It's super focused in on his face, and you're like, what is happening? What is sending off the signal?
It is so intense.
It is. You're right, because like the tension's right there, and you're just like, what is happening?
And quick aside, we get a little shot of Lizard outside in a truck. He notified JJ,
who's been hunting for Peter Parker,
where they are so that the news can show up. Yeah. And then right as they show up, that's when Peter's senses go off. He's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's just like, you're like, what is about to happen? And he walks out there, and all the villains are kind of around him. So they're like, okay, any one of them.
Yeah.
It could definitely turn.
One of them could be turning.
Did Doc Ock really turn good? Is he gonna like about to like backstab him? Are we all gonna jump him together? And Peter turns around and webs Green Goblin.
Yeah, he reaches up with his hand, gets webbed, and then
you're just like, wow.
We get one of the best Green Goblin scenes.
I'll let you tell this one.
I don't even know. I can't remember at all what he said, but it's amazing.
It's so good.
We get a monologue from Green Goblin that's like 2 minutes long or something, and it's just him like just going on and on.
Willem Dafoe is one of the best comic book villains I think we've ever seen.
All time.
Like, he plays the sinister, the crazy, his range,
the maniacal,
he played it so deadly serious, and so like you felt the danger coming from him the entire
terrifying.
time. When he goes into that Green Goblin mode, and you're just like, what? I'm like, you feel the fear.
Yep,
it's very well done. And so he's, okay, so there's this huge fight
scene. Fight scene.
Yeah, the fight scene's amazing. So they all kind of split up. They're all like, okay, whatever. Peace, we're out.
Crap hits the fan.
Yep.
Sandman runs away. Electro runs away. Doc Ock. Oh, Electro zaps Doc Ock.
Yeah, he does. He's like, I liked you better the old way.
Then Electro runs away.
Yeah.
And Doc Ock saves himself. Electro also takes the arc reactor.
He does. He get an upgrade. That. Yeah, that's how he gets it. You see it in the trailer, and people are like, oh, is he going to be an offshoot of Tony Stark? But no, he just takes the reactor to get the energy.
Right.
Oh, man.
And Lizard
escapes.
How did Lizard even get out?
He clawed his way out of the van.
No, how was he in the van? Did they bring him in the van?
Yeah, he's like, we're gonna leave him down there. We can't bring him upstairs. It'd be too obvious.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's staying down in the feast truck the entire time, and then he claws his way out. Okay. My question is, like, how did he know that it was about to go down? I guess he could hear it or something. Like. But yeah, he's using his super lizard senses to tell that things are not right, or whatever. And then we get this really great fight between Spider-Man and
Green Goblin.
Norman Osborn.
Green
Goblin. Oh, wow. So, it's a pretty intense fight.
It's incredibly intense.
But it's like Peter Parker's throwing some punches, and Green Goblin's just laughing at him. In the most insane, again, terrifying face that he's got. It's just like, he's like hitting him, and he's just laughing. You're just like, wow. And so like nothing, and then Peter Parker's getting beat up and blown up, and Aunt May is like running away because she's got like kind of all the devices, and she's like grabbed him and she's running.
Serums and stuff.
Yeah, and goes downstairs.
She gets down to the lobby. Peter gets
he gets destroyed,
dropped through 6 stories in those balconies or whatever. Oh, the fight! Oh, the choreography is so good. There's like a point when Goblin's on his back. He flips him over and he like pulls him down into the ground with the webs. Oh, it's insane. It's insane.
It's a good fight scene,
it's a great fight scene.
It doesn't go too well for Peter.
No,
because
he gets cramped on. Dude.
Yeah, in the lobby, and lo and behold, you have the whole thing. And I thought this was gonna be interesting, but there's Aunt May, there's Green Goblin, and there's Spider-Man. And you see the glider pop up. Outside, and you're like, what's about to happen?
Yeah.
Like, okay, and the glider comes in. And it obliterates Aunt May.
Yeah, she gets like knocked over.
I'm like, okay, so she's dead.
We don't see. Yeah,
but no, she gets crushed, and Peter is just again beat up terribly. And Green Goblin's like, I want you to kind of like remember this.
Yeah, you'll thank me later.
Yeah, thank me later. And he throws a grenade in there, another pumpkin bomb.
Throws it at Aunt May, right?
Yeah, and Peter's trying to jump over to grab her
or something, and like he tries hitting it away, and it's like right next to him when it blows up.
It does not. Yeah, so he gets obliterated again by this bomb. He's all bleeding and cut up, and Aunt May, she gets up, and I'm like, okay, great, okay, cool.
Well, she's okay.
Perfect. Yeah. Again, it's like it's movie logic. All right, cool. So she gets up.
Yeah, we don't see what happened to her besides that she got hit by the glider.
She crashes into like a wall, and we don't see what. Yeah, it's really okay. I'm like, I leaned over to him. I was like, this would be a great moment for her to die. I'm like, I can't believe they didn't kill her at this point. That'd be amazing. And then she gets up and they're walking, and she's like, I need to catch my breath. And I'm like,
he's like, oh no. He's like, oh okay, yeah, catch your breath.
Oh. And she lays down, and he kind of helps her down, and he pulls his hand up, and it's just blood
everywhere, just covered in blood.
And she's like, what's wrong? He's like, oh, nothing. He's like, I need some help, and he's yelling out there, trying to get people to. Ooh,
it was intense.
It's good, and we get something that people have been asking for forever.
Some mother freaking consequences, baby.
With great power.
Oh yeah,
comes great responsibility line as Aunt May dies.
She's dead.
She dies. I was blown away. I was like, all right.
It was like,
I love it.
Yeah, it's like with the other movies.
So sad,
there's no stakes for real, but like now we're like, oh, okay. This is what we're doing. It was insane.
It was like, you're just like, wow, this just happened.
They're doing it.
They did it. And he is over the edge.
Yeah, no, he is.
It's not looking great for Spider-Man here.
He is.
At all. His villains are all gone. He's lost
up.
His aunt. His place to hide out at, everything's gone. Doctor Strange is now locked away in a mirror dimension because somebody locked him there, Spider-Man. And it's not great. And so we go over and we see Ned and MJ, and they're kind of like, I'm like, why didn't they get the text? They should have gotten the text.
Why didn't you text her, bro?
Where was the text? And
it wasn't you texting her, bro?
Man, she had one job, and she would have done it. And she's like, she almost did too. She was just like, I'm just gonna do it. He's like, no, don't. Ned's like, don't do it. We gotta wait for the text.
She should have pressed it.
And she's like, well, and so Ned, this whole time, you kind of get in this whole thing. He's like, I think I can do magic. He's talking to Doctor Strange. He's like, I feel like a tingling in my fingers.
His stories or whatever.
Yeah. And so he has the sling ring, and he's like kind of talking like this, and all of a sudden you see this sparkles. You're like,
sparks. What? Wait, do it again. No, try it again.
And he's like,
I really wish I could see Peter right now.
I wish I could see Peter. And it opens it up, and we see Spider-Man in an alleyway. But he looks a little different.
A little taller, a little skinnier.
A little taller and skinnier. And, yeah.
Oh, like, Peter, come here.
And he's like,
the second that portal opened, and we saw Spider-Man sitting over there, everyone started screaming. Dude.
Because, lo and behold, he comes in, takes off his mask, and you already know who it is, because you can recognize the costume. It is Andrew Garfield. As Spider-Man.
And we get... Oh, it's just a fun little scene, too, where he's like...
He steals every scene that he got in there.
Probably the best... Well, second best part in the whole movie, besides Norman Osborn.
It was... Can you imagine him and Green Goblin having a movie together?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
That'd be insane.
It was so good.
It was just... We were just like...
And we get a fun little scene. He's like, prove it. He's like, no, don't prove it. I'm not going to prove it. Like, prove it. And he like jumps up and just sticks to the ceiling.
Like, crawl around.
He's like, I'm not going to crawl around.
I'm not going to do it.
Crawl around.
And Ned's grandmother's like, get the cobweb on the corner.
He's like...
And so he crawls over and gets it.
He goes like this. It was hilarious. It was so good.
It's peak Spider-Man right here.
Peak Spider-Man.
It is so great.
And then
they're like, okay, well, let's try it again.
Let's try to find another Peter.
All right, Peter. All right, I want to see Peter Parker. And lo and behold, they do it. And
the boy,
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey.
Oh wow.
Tobey.
Just
people started screaming.
No, I'm like, there was a lot of probably some tears going on at this point.
No, it was so
good. Your emotions are going crazy. It's okay, it happens.
It was so good.
And he's not in his costume. He's just kind of dressed up normally.
Just casual. He has it underneath his clothes. We see later.
Yeah, and it's just like you're just like.
He's like, oh, what's going on?
You know how long it's been since we've seen Spider-Man?
Man,
Tobey Maguire's
the
Spider-Man on the big screen. It was amazing.
Man.
So they all get together and they go find Peter because like.
Where would he go to when he's sad? Where's the one place he always goes to for comfort? And it's his high school rooftop, right? Yep.
And they go there,
and
you get and all of the three Spider-Men together.
Man,
so good.
Everything after here is just peak.
It is. It was very well done. Goes down. They go into this school lab and they start working on. All right, gonna finish up all of the.
We can't go back. We gotta unpack this scene here, man. Come on. They show up and Ned and MJ hug them. And they're like, we got some friends. We got some people to see. And they jump down. And I mean, Tom is just like it looks like he went through war, basically.
Oh, yeah,
he did.
Blood. I mean,
He's just crying and stuff.
Yeah,
he's
no,
like,
it's raining out. It's
Yeah.
just like, it's the classic, like, you were at your lowest moment.
Oh, crap. We forgot about the one scene where he's standing in front of the big billboard, right?
Yeah, and J.J. Jameson's talking about...
That looked so good. It's like a close-up of his face.
And the colors are
LED.
changing.
Oh.
It very, like, Blade Runner feeling. And
Yeah,
I'm just like, yeah. It was very...
It was
again,
so beautiful.
It is. This movie's
Like, rain's pouring out,
really
the
good.
music's going. Oh, it was so good.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, back to
All
the
right,
rooftop scene.
you ready? Okay, continue rooftop. Continue rooftop.
We gotta get Andrew. We gotta get Toby. We gotta get the moments, you know?
The moments are there.
He's like, you don't understand. You can never understand what I went through. And then we get the little story with Toby. He's like, my Uncle Ben died. And he was like, I wanted to kill the man who killed him. And I got what I wanted.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
I
And
wanted him dead, and I got what I wanted.
I got what I wanted.
Yeah.
And then Andrew was like, it was my... Gwen said she was my MJ or whatever.
Yeah.
I couldn't save her. And he didn't bring up his Uncle Ben, which was fine. And he was like, he was crying at that point. Andrew was.
Andrew's got some good acting.
He's
there.
great. He's great. He was all emotional, and they're like, did they say the great power comes great responsibility?
Yeah,
because MJ or Tom was about to say it, and then they said it at the same time.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, it was so good.
It's a very, again, your emotions are just right there, and you're feeling every line at that point. It's just so much fun.
Now we go to the lab.
All right, now in the lab, they're doing the thing. You got a lot of fun, like, hey, Peter, huh? And all of them look up. No, Peter Parker.
We're all Peter Parker. What's Peter Parker?
Bunch of stuff like that.
Yeah.
You get some fun little moments, like, he's like, did you have a best friend that helped you out? And Tobey Maguire's like, yeah. Until,
he went crazy
and tried to kill me.
And he died in my arms.
Yeah, it was
and
heartbreaking.
Ned goes over to Tom and he's like,
I promise I'll never.
He like just walks away. It was so good.
A lot of fun little moments like that. They get together and they're like, all right, so then they have a plan. They're going to take down the rest of the villains. They're going to fix them. They're going to send them back. Mm-hmm. We get to the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Which was interesting because like it's not just the Statue of Liberty. They put a Captain America shield on
Holding it up like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good.
So you're like, okay, all right, I can definitely see New Yorkers doing something like that in this universe.
Which you'd
Makes
think
sense.
the other Spider-Man would be like, the heck's this about? Like, wait, where's the torch? What's going on here?
Yeah, right? I mean, I can imagine how... It's like, yeah, I'm part of the Avengers.
Dude,
like,
that's great.
What
are the Avengers?
Is that a band?
What is
Were
that?
you in a band?
Man, I wish I was in a band. Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield.
The chemistry between all three of them was
so much fun. It was fun. It
definitely...
didn't feel like there was any conflict, like, between actors. It felt like it flowed like, okay, these are three Spider-Men. You believed it.
They're Peter Parker.
Point. Yeah.
The best human.
And we get some of the best choreography I think we've seen in a while. Between the naked fight, and there is a showdown. There is a great showdown between all of them. And they kind of have to figure out, okay, they got to work together. And they're like, well, we're really used to working by ourselves. And they're like, oh, why don't we do this? And he's like, yeah, Peter 1, Peter 2.
I thought I was Peter 2. I'm not Peter 3.
Oh, man.
It was just fun stuff like that.
And then you get somewhere where they jump off and they're working together. And it's just gold.
Like, it was so good. Because, like, the three of them were swinging, and then there's the two back here and the one here, and he turns around and they shoot their webs out and he grabs him and he swings them around. It was so good. It was beautiful. And then all three land on the Statue of Liberty at the same time.
And their poses.
They apparently landed in order of release.
Really?
Yeah, it was Toby, Andrew, and then Tom in the middle.
Very nice.
Someone noticed that. It was just so cool.
All right.
It was beautiful.
And we get the showdown. They fix Sandman. They put this little like It reminded me of the thing from Dune, the sand thing.
Yeah.
Sand whatever. And then we had Electro. He kind of got his thing.
Yeah, because Doc Ock shows up. And
Doc Ock does show up.
He grabs the two Spider-Man. He's like, leave them to me, Electro. And then boom, he grabs Electro with his arm.
Yeah.
And he takes off the arc reactor and he puts the other thing on. Doc Ock, the GOAT.
And you get that great moment between Tobey Maguire and Doc Ock.
He's like,
and then you're just like,
Peter Parker?
He's like, how are you doing? I'm doing better. Which was a throwback from the Spider-Man 2 movie.
Damn. I wanted him to say brilliant but lazy.
Oh,
but he never did. I just wanted it so bad, man.
And then we get, I would say, this is arguably my favorite part of the entire movie.
It's not even arguable. It's mine. It's the best part of the movie.
We get the part.
Kidding me?
MJ and Ned, they kind of end up there.
They can't close the magic circle. Lizard sees them, jumps in, chases them back outside onto Liberty. Goblin shows up.
Yeah.
Starts effing stuff up,
Yeah.
dude. And
It's bad.
And MJ's falling down. Tom's about to save her. Glider comes in, hits him out the side. and Andrew sees.
You see, and he goes, no! And he jumps!
And he saves her!
Alright, I'll be honest. There were a lot of
cried
tears.
at this. Are you kidding me?
Point.
It wasn't even...
His face, because he saves her, and he realizes what
he's
he
like
did.
just bawling his eyes
He
out.
realizes he saved her.
She's like, yeah, I'm okay. She's like, are you okay? He's like, yeah.
And it's the tears.
It's so good.
Oh,
he got his moment, man.
He did.
He saved her, bro.
It was everybody's moment because we all felt that pain. No matter what you think about the Amazing Spider-Man movies, 1 and 2, that moment, I think it hurt everybody. And you were like, man, Andrew Garfield needed it, and that was his redemption.
Yeah.
And seeing that happen, I think that made everything worthwhile. It was so good. It was really...
I'm so ready to get this movie on Blu-ray and watch it again. It's just, watch it and,
yeah.
I'm going to see it again in theater.
Oh, definitely. So... we finally get the showdown between Tom Holland's Spider-Man and the Green Goblin. And Andrew Garfield said something earlier about after Gwen's death, he stopped pulling his punches, which we know Spider-Man, when he does that in the comics, is not great. Because he's insanely strong.
Super strong.
He always, so he does that, and he said things got dark, and he's like, don't do that. And Tom Holland is going at it
he's like,
with Green Goblin.
Green Goblin says something, he's like, I don't know. He said something, and then Tom's like, no, so I can kill you myself. And then Green Goblin's like, attaboy. It's like, ah! It was so good.
It is so good.
And he is beating
he's going, I mean, he hits the ground. The ground is, like, broken. He grabs his glider. He's about to stab him with it.
And Andrew sees it. He's like, or
Tobey Maguire does, and he stops it. And he just looks him in the face. And he stops him from doing that, from making that mistake.
And that's his moment, because he stops Green Goblin from getting impaled by his glider again.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Oh man, that was. I didn't even think about that. How he stopped him this time because he couldn't stop it before.
I saw someone say that online too.
Oh, that is good. Well, of course, then this happens. He gets stabbed in the back by Green Goblin.
Green Goblin.
And I thought he was gonna die.
Me too.
I'll be honest. Don't worry, he's okay.
They made it seem more serious.
It definitely did. He's like, don't worry, I've been stabbed before.
He's like, oh, I've been stabbed before. And he just gets back up, kind of.
You're just like,
and then who puts the serum in him?
No, he gets thrown the serum, and Tom Holland does it.
Andrew throws it to him.
And puts the anti-serum in him, and then he's back to Norman Osborn.
He's like, what did I do?
Yeah, because like apparently he gets blackouts when he's. Yeah. That's what he says. I don't know if he actually does.
Yeah, I know. I was like, it was hard to like believe what was real or not, which is the good part about him. Is like, how good of a character and actor he is. Like, you don't know.
At this point, now you're like, great. Finally, all the villains are gone.
Yeah, sorry. Before that, bomb inside the magic box from Green Goblin.
Yes.
That makes it explode and like.
The spell broke, and now all the universes are colliding together.
Because everybody who knows Peter Parker is getting drawn to this world.
Yep, and you see Kraven the Hunter, you see Scorpion,
it's just
Rhino.
Like the outlines, but like energy outlines.
And you can see it, like say, But like if you look at it, like there's a guy with the spear, there's a Rhino, there's the Scorpion. So there's a lot of different.
At some point comes back like basically near the end right there.
Yeah,
a little bit before the box blows up. Well, okay, sorry. He shows up. He's about to do the magic thing, and he looks over and he sees that Peter's actually fixing them. He's like, "Oh, crap!"
Yeah, which was good. I think it was a little bit of a like, "Oh, hey, he's not wrong."
Yeah,
type of a thing.
He actually can do it.
But the universes start colliding in there, and he's like
trying to stop.
And Doctor Strange is not being able. He's like, "This is where in the trailer, he's like, I can't stop it. They're coming through." Type of a thing.
Yeah.
That's when this moment happens, and you're just like,
"They're all here for you,
then,
Peter."
Yeah, and then Peter's like, "What if?" And he proposes the most heartbreaking solution. He's like, what if I made everybody forget who Peter Parker was?
Yeah.
Not just Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Peter Parker himself is gone. And he's like, all right, well, basically he's like, okay, is that what you want?
That's going to...
I'm like, oh, man.
Ruin your life or whatever. He's like, I know. He's like...
But, yeah.
Go say goodbye to your friend.
Yeah, so he says goodbye.
He goes away, and he's like, nice knowing you, kid. As he was... We went away. Or see you later, kid. Oh, it was good.
No, Spider-Man says, see you later, and he's like, nice knowing you, kid.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. But he says his goodbye. He's like, I'll find you. I'll remind you guys. And she's like, you better. And so the whole thing, and then everybody forgets him. It's the next day type of a thing. Yeah. All the different universe people go back to their own dimensions. They kind of fade away.
Yeah.
And the next day he's going to where MJ works at, and he walks in there.
Letter.
He's practicing what he's gonna say. Hey, you don't know me, but he's kind of practicing it over and over. He walks in there and he sees MJ and Ned. Well, Ned walks in as well, and they found they got into MIT. Life's going great for them, and he makes the decision to not tell them who he is.
The ultimate Spider-Man move.
Because he sees that they're better off without him.
Because they are.
Man.
Yeah. But, okay, this is what I was thinking about earlier today. Everyone forgot who he was. That doesn't mean everything that he was doing isn't there.
Well, yeah, and the
So,
Spider-Man
like-
still exists. So, like,
Well, no.
everybody knows Spider-Man.
But they just forgot that he existed. He still has his birth records. He still has all his pictures. He still has everything like that at the high school, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
It's
I
like
don't
if
know how
MJ
far
and him
that
took
spell goes.
selfies,
Yeah.
but they only forgot about him. She's gonna be like, who the crap is this?
I feel like
in
it
my phone?
erased. I feel like it just. It didn't,
Right.
I feel like it erased Peter Parker.
Probably.
So his records, everything about him is gone.
Probably.
Would be my guess. I don't know how he's gonna get like.
Yeah.
his
How is he in this
license.
apartment? Second off, apparently that apartment was his apartment from the PS4 game.
Really? Was that what they're? Because there
That's
was
what
a
they
reference that they said they're going to reference the
That's
game.
what they said.
Plus a couple of moves
And
that he does.
Feast, kind of.
Yeah,
But
there's definitely a few things that they're really pulling into the comics.
Yeah.
But you're basically getting graduated high school Peter Parker, now becoming down on his luck, trying to
Below
do the
the
right
poverty
thing,
line.
below the poverty line, Spider-Man.
yeah.
Because he ends up making his own costume with a sewing machine.
and it looks
and
beautiful.
it is like the classic Spider-Man
It's like
costume.
it's like the light blue kind of, or like the blue.
Yeah,
Not
it's like
black.
it's like the light blue and the red. I mean, it
It's
looks
beautiful.
like and that's it. He goes swinging through the city, and that's basically how the movie ends. We get 2 end credit scenes. One is Venom. We see because we end of Venom. He goes in here. This one is kind of fun, but he's in this universe, and he's getting drunk, and he gets zapped back into his other universe. But then there's a symbiote that's left
Just a
behind.
tiny piece of symbiote. I didn't know what it was at first until it started moving. I was
Yeah. Oh yeah,
"What's
no.
that?"
It was like oh wow. Okay,
I thought it was like a little tracker.
we're
or
introducing
something. Yeah.
Venom into this
Venom.
universe type of a thing.
Which cool.
yeah,
that's
we'll see
fine.
what happens with it.
And the next one is basically a
Is a
Doctor
trailer.
Strange trailer for
Yep,
the second
which
movie.
is fine. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just a little bit. It's your teaser for it.
People like started screaming when they saw Wanda. I was like, guys, we knew she was going to be in this. Why are you
Yeah.
guys screaming?
People are excited.
But
People just love it.
that's fine.
But yeah, and so that's the movie.
That's the movie.
Oh man, so I definitely. What would you rate it out of 10? I'll do this all in general. What would you rate it? And then we'll do out of Spider-Man movies. What would you rate it?
Okay, in general,
I put it at as a 9. I'll
yeah,
just say
9 and a half.
All right,
Almost a 10.
almost a 10.
Couple
Wow.
things.
I think there's plenty of room. Or there's room
Yeah.
for improvement on anything.
But
But then out of all the Spider-Man movies, how would you
Number
rank
3.
this? Number 3.
Oh, number two.
What's number 1?
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse? Okay, that's about where
I
I'm
mean, come
at
on.
is with it as well. And then I put Spider-Man 2 right below this one.
Yeah.
It's
But,
very,
like, they're
very
all
well done.
so
Very
close.
well done. Yeah, all right. Well, let us know what you guys think about Spider-Man in the comments.
Oh, man.
And you watched anything else recently?
I
Anything
started
good?
Bleach, the anime.
Really? Okay.
That's alright so far. It came out. It's old. It's
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah, no, it's
90s
a
old,
good
so-
bit.
animation for it.
Yeah.
But it's pretty decent so far.
Well, that's good.
The main character is voiced by the same voice actor that voices the main character from Code Geass, my favorite anime. So that was nice. I was like, wait, hey, is it Johnny? Gosh, it's Johnny.
Oh, right.
So that's
I've
nice.
seen it.
That's fine. It's pretty good. It's
Okay.
That's right.
Okay. Well, I've watched the critically acclaimed Ron's Gone Wrong movie.
Oh, the robot.
The little
thing?
robot one,
Oh
the kids
my
movie?
gosh.
Hey, it's better. So I've been watching Moana at least twice a day for the past 2 weeks because that's what my 2-year-old wants to watch.
Right.
And so I was like, I'm gonna get a break from this. So I watched that, and I watched Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
What a break.
This will be a kids movie to kind of keep her
Man.
entertained. But
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, let's watch something different right now.
Goodness gracious.
So yeah, we watched that, and we watched Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Both were very, very average. Would not really recommend either of those. Which
I
is a
wouldn't
shame.
watch them either.
I love Diary of a Wimpy Kid, so I was kind of disappointed.
Dude, the first 3 were pretty good.
Yeah, and this one was like had no heart at all for it. This
It's
movie.
just a
It's like
cash
it's 50 minutes long, I think.
Really?
It's super short. Yeah, it felt very weird. It felt very weird.
It was animated, right?
It was animated.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Saw Body of Lies recently. That was fun.
Yeah, it's a
Liked
fun
it.
movie.
I'm trying to get caught up on my Netflix list. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll catch you guys next time. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment. Do all that fun stuff.
Thanks for listening. If you
That's
listened.
right. Yeah. Sorry if you hadn't seen the movie yet.
No, I'm not sorry at all. You should have seen it. It sucks to suck, dude. Go watch it. You knew there were spoilers.